I'll be cruising in my lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working nightly. If you think you'll win, not likely.
Welcome back to the channel. We are back on the 79 Camaro, 2nd gen, and today we are going to be rebuilding the front end. We've got the car jacked up, tires already off. Let's take a peek underneath real quick. Basically what we have here is a stock front end. Camaro's pretty much all stock. A lot of original parts still on here. The car had sat approximately 20 years without being driven or anything, so of course you're going to want to replace everything, and that's what we've been doing over the past 3 years. And now it's time to hit the front end. Slowly just rebuilding it on the side when I got time, hence is why it's taking 3 years. We've got the car painted, we got it running and driving, but it's time to get some bushings on here. We're going to be replacing basically just a basic front end rebuild kit, upper lower ball joints, sway bar bushings, and inner and outer tie rods and whatnot. We'll probably end up getting new rotors, new calipers, new brake pads for the front. We've already redone the complete assembly on the rear brake, so that's all new and fresh. We're going to start off by removing the sway bar. I'll get y'all zoomed in and show you what we got going here, but basically it's mounted to the frame here with 2 bolts. Same on the other side. And then it's mounted to these links that hook into the bottom of your lower control arm. So we're going to remove that, replace all them. Right now we're just taking everything apart, and then we can continue on putting it all back together with new rubber. A lot of people use polyurethane. I just basically went with the rubber again. I've had nothing but good luck with them. I've never had a problem with them, and they don't squeak as much as the polyurethane. So that's what we're going with. So basically we got like a 9/16 nut up here and a bolt on the bottom that goes all the way through from the bottom of the control arm up to your sway bar link up here. And we're gonna start there, and then we can go ahead and loosen it up from here off the frame. So I'll get y'all zoomed in. I hope it's bright enough under here. I'll put 2 or 3 lights under here. So basically what you want to do is you want to put some kind of a wrench or something up here holding this. If you have a friend, that would work too. Locate on the bottom your control arm. You'll see right here is the bolt actually going through. Break that free. What, 45 years since he's been replaced? Oh, that just holding it, it'll actually brace itself up against that. Until it doesn't. Definitely be easier if you had like a buddy with you. You know, give him a 6-pack of beer for helping you or something. Make it worth his while. And you can always spray this down, you know, overnight or something, lube it up. I however did not. There's the kind of got a washer on top, then the nut rides right there. I like to put everything back like it was, the way I found it. Easy to remember in case I don't get to this for a month or so. Just never know. And there's a spacer that went in between the bushings and everything. Or your bushing on, be like this, like that, bada bing, bada boom. We can put this to the side. So this side from the link, is connecting the lower control arm is off. Now we'll move on to these. This is actually a metric. Them are actually going to be a 10mm. Interesting. Now I'm not going to take these all the way out. I just want to loosen them. And we'll go to the other side and continue to tear it apart. Now we're going to do the same thing to this link over here. Right here. Get the wrench turned over to where it'll brace itself. This one ain't too bad. Might be able to use my little whoop whoop. This thing ain't very powerful, but sometimes it works. Washer first, then the bushing, sits just like that on top, then the washer, then the rubber. So we can remove that, remove all this together. There's this bolt, we'll clean it up. Basically this is how it sits: rubber, washer, spacer, and then a washer, rubber. So washer's on the spacer, rubber on the outside. We're loose on both sides now. All I gotta do is loosen these two, finish loosening those, and our sway bar will be out of there. I don't want to take a chance on this falling and smashing one of my lights. So I'm just going to take a bungee, wrap it around here, tie it into the frame, and that'll just hold that up while I finish taking these bolts out. Yeah, bolt looks good, it's just rusted up. One more on this side, she's almost out too. And there we go. And there's our bushing. I'm just going to leave that on there for now. We'll get the other side off, and then our sway bar will be completely out of here, and we can put it away. So let's move on to the other side, finish loosening that one. Inner and outer tie rod necks, and we'll loosen up here. You got a cotter pin on top of this nut, and then we can loosen it there. Take our fork tool and pop that out, and then we'll do the same thing on the inside. Pull that out. And of course, these are old and rusty. Been on here forever. We're going to have new cotter pins, so not a big deal if they break or anything. I'm going to pull them out. Okay, cotter pin out. And we got a nut on top, and 3/4. We'll remove that, loosen it up. Probably gonna be hella tight. You could have a cheater bar. Holy moly, these are gonna be tight, boys. So I'm gonna try to break it with a hammer. So it ain't so loud on everybody. Let me grab my dead blow. Okay, we got that loose. We're not going to take it all the way off. We're just going to go all the way to the top. the bolt. So it's got a little play. Then we'll move to the inside. Start taking that one off. Loosening it up rather. Okay, so we got that loose. It's got a little bit of play. This could drop now if we wanted it to. Then we'll go to the inside where we got another cotter pin. Will be right here. We'll take that cotter pin out, loosen this nut up, and then we can put our fork tool, which is somewhere here. We'll use our fork tool and bust these loose, break them free. What we'll do is we'll just take our screwdriver, pry that over, beat that back. Hopefully we can get it with our needle nose now and pull her out. There we go. Cotter pin removed. So the 11/16 in here, but the outside one was 3/4. So I figured it'd been the same, but they're not. Okay, so we're gonna try beating on this. See if I can get a better angle for beating purposes. That wasn't too bad. Okay. Can't do it by hand just yet. I'm not going to go all, well yeah, we can go ahead and take this all the way off. There we go. Nut there. Now, you can beat on it there if you wanted to, but let's see with our tool. I might not have enough room really to get a good whack at it. I have to reposition this. And move some of this. I got everything in my way. So much crud on this. Make sure you wear your goggles. You don't want all this crud flopping down in your eyeballs. Alright, this ain't got enough room to beat on it really. You can wiggle it around, maneuver it around, you'll get it. And of course this will tear up any bushings you got here, but they're all getting replaced, so like really, who cares? These get tore up. Beat on it all you want. They are going to be stiff, especially never being replaced before. That's the inner tie rod. It's got a stud comes through to the center link here. So you can smack it around a little bit on the side of the center link, kind of help loosen it. Along with beating on this, once you get it in, it should separate a little. And there we go. Now it's loose. And we'll take it off of this other end, and then we'll be able to pull it all the way out. So now we can bring y'all back to this side so y'all can see here. Now we can take this nut off. I'll pull y'all back a little bit. Okay, so we can take this nut off. Keep it on this side because that's where that goes. We can take our fork here. We can pry it on there. You can also take your hammer and smack it a little bit here to try to help jar that free. What I'm going to do is take my fork, put it up on this, kind of beat on it. Get that separate a little bit. Okay. And whatever you do, folks, make sure you use jack stands. Don't trust just a jack. I've got the jack under here plus 2 jack stands. And don't have nothing sitting on top like I got this AC delete box that I had sitting up on a radiator. That's what fell down just now. Move all your crap so you don't have nothing falling upon your head. Okay, so we got this fork in pretty good. We can beat on it a little bit. And she's getting there. It's kind of surprising how tight these actually get up inside here like this. And there we go. Okay. So basically it sits like this. Stud goes up through the hole. Bolt, stud, whatever you want to call it. From this outer tie rod goes up through the hole. Nut goes on. Cotter key. So this one we're going to leave together so we can, when we put our new one together, we can put it the same length. And that'll get us really close to our front end alignment so we can drive to the shop or whatever. In my case, I'll probably have to tow it there because this hasn't been legal since 2004. And we still got a few more things to do before she becomes street legal. But I want to have the front end alignment done for sure. This will get us really close to where it was. So there we go. Now I'm going to take my old nuts, put back on the section it was on so you don't lose them. Although we're not going to use this. This is garbage. Beat your neighbor over the head item now, I guess. Beat your sister over the head, whatever. Paperweight hanging on the wall for decoration. Sell it on eBay for $59.95. It's original part. So that's one inner and outer tie rod removed from the driver's side. Now we can move over to the passenger side and continue on. It brought, I don't know if you can see all this mess, all these crumbs basically fell down. That's why you want to wear goggles. You don't want none of that in your eyeball. But she's getting stripped. We're getting her done, boys. We're getting her done. We're going to be removing this lower control arm, upper control arm. We're going to be removing the inner shock along with the spring. We're going to be removing the rotor, calipers, whole 9 yards. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. I got to get this AC delete box that I'm not going to be using. Get it out of the way. Let's put y'all down over here. Okay, from here, We're going to be going for this cotter pin. We'll remove that, remove this nut, same thing inside here, and we'll beat this one out of here. And once begun, half done. Next process we're going to be doing, I need to try to find some of these bump stops for this car, second gen. Upper and lower, the uppers are already wasted, they basically broke off. And I haven't even really messed with the control arms yet, but we will be taking off lower control arm, upper control arm, ball joints and all that. But before we do that, we're probably going to remove the brake calipers. And since I'm getting new rotors, I can go ahead and take off the rotors as well. And then probably take off the front shocks that are inside the coil springs. And then we'll continue on